Okay guys, I am sitting on my 89 Kawasaki Bayou KLF300C. Here's the deal. Ignition is on. It is in neutral. As you can see, the two lights down there, especially that one, are not lit up. It's in neutral because I can bump it. Pops right off. Now here's the funny thing. Well, not really all that funny, but watch now. Hey, they both light up. Not cool. So now I try to, and it should be in neutral now. I got lucky there. Yep. Most of the time it'll skip past neutral, go to first, and then we just go back and forth trying to find neutral. But so replace the light bulbs today. I think that was part of the issue, as I know at least one was burnt out. Got down here and dicked around with these wires here. I don't know if one of those was shorted out and I happened to reconnect it and that's why they came on. I mean, I did too many things at one time to attribute the lights now working to one fix or the other. But as I followed this cable down here, thought, okay, good. You know, the cable end, which I came around from the other side. Kind of hard to do this watching through my phone. But, you know, I've got the little end on there. There it is. So I can connect it to the lever that should be fitting on this piece right here, where you can see my finger. Now I'm going to try and zoom in on that. I just found out about this about 5 minutes ago, so I'm checking this out thinking, okay, this should be an easy fix. I wonder what, you know, how big and the pitch and whatnot. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in. So then I get to looking and thought, son of a dick. The previous owner, whether intentful or not, broke the screw off in there, or the bolt. So I've got no bolt head, but all the thread, or at least it looks like all of it, is camped out in there. So I've got to figure out how to get that out of there without damaging the transmission. I don't know how sensitive of an area that happens to be. And of course, I was really looking forward to pulling the drive shaft just to get to it. And I'm sure I've got other stuff that'll have to come off. Just more of a pain in the ass than anything. Sorry, I didn't realize how zoomed in I still was. So, yeah. Any ideas on if, I guess first and foremost, if I go through the trouble of pulling that broken bolt out of there, getting the correct bolt, and getting the lever and hooking it up, and adjusting the lockout correctly, will that solve the problem of both lights coming on in reverse? The other thing I also found out, unfortunately, earlier is it will start in reverse. So not cool, just because my wife and you know, probably my kids someday will be on this. But anyway, any help with that would be greatly appreciated. While I have your attention, I also am curious. This is not the carb that came with this, but it is from a 2000, I want to say, Bayou. But anyway, this line here just kind of went to nowhere, as did the one that was on the carb that came with it. And this vacuum line here just kind of ran to nowhere. Looked for a nipple to plug it into, couldn't find one, and then was looking at those two going, hey, those are about the right size to fit together. Is that actually where it goes? Yay or nay? This vacuum line looks like a PCV line that, because it connects to a T-fitting on the other side for some other, like for lack of a better term, emission lines that come out of the cylinder head. There's one that does. I don't know where the other ones came from or go to. I didn't trace them back that far. But that I know it looks like an atmospheric vent into the carburetor. Is that correct? If not, please let me know. I wasn't able to find a diagram on this. I'm still learning on this particular four-wheeler. In fact, this is my first one. So once again, thank you for the time. I appreciate any help you can give me. And take care.